Sloth Island measures just about 165 acres of land and is situated along the mighty Essequibo River. The island is below sea level and had to be built up by sand over the years.
Many, many years ago, it had a lot of sloths. No? Many, many sloths. Had a lot of sloths simply because the island was an island below sea level. At high tide, it's below sea level. Where we are sitting here now, we're actually sitting on about 8 feet of sand that was pumped up on the island over the years, you know? And so it was acquired, a lease was acquired by a gentleman named Raphael Ah, and that was acquired around 1997. And the whole idea was to go into a little bit of agriculture.
The island was designed by developer Raphael Ah as a home away from home.
He didn't just cut down the trees and all that. He left a lot of trees so that you could walk between the woods and things like that. And it is more designed for ecotourism. You know, it's not the kind of place where you come and get a lot of music and get a lot of fun outside of the natural things. There's a walkway down in the bush. You can walk, you can look for sloths, you can look for the red howler monkeys, a lot of iguanas, things like that. People who love nature can enjoy it because it's the quietness and the coolness of the place.
The developer found it was a monumental task to convert the island into farming, and as such, he decided to set up huts, which were joined together by bridges.
The huts were destroyed by termites. If you look around the island, most of the trees, you'll see a lot of termites, what we call wood ants. And because of all of these termites and so, when they began to rebuild, they didn't rebuild back in wood again. They rebuilt in what we have now, this little lodge. We don't like to call the place a resort, we call it a lodge, because that's what it really is, you know. It's one of those places where people could come and peep into their own soul, listen to yourself for a while.
To recover from the pandemic, prices have been slashed by at least 50%, and vaccination is a requirement to visit the island.
Well, the tourism industry as a whole suffered tremendously because of this pandemic, because after all, when it started, people weren't going anywhere, people weren't flying anywhere, and a lot of people weren't at work, you know, and the tours these days are basically designed for Guyanese, you know, because the fare that people pay now to come on a tour is just about 50% of what we used to get before the pandemic from foreigners coming into the country, you know, and it's been cut down to meet the pockets of the small man, right? Cut down in half, for that matter, or less than half in some instances, to meet the pockets of the small man, right? But when the pandemic came, well, the small man was affected, the big man was affected, everybody were affected, and therefore tourism was one of the industries that took a big blow.
Tourists can enjoy bird watching, nature walks, wildlife viewing, swimming, canoeing, and fishing on the island.
You know, we have about 8 rooms, and each room has, most of the rooms have 3 beds, you know, and we accommodate 24 people comfortably, you know, comfortably. We accommodate 24 people. Well, we got some permission from the Ministry of Tourism a few months ago, and then you have to work also with the updates you get from the government and the task force, you know, that looks into this COVID thing. And together with those little permissions a few months ago, we started minimally, you know, to reopen them back. We try to be as COVID conscious as we can. Well, I would love to tell people that Sloth Island is a very welcoming place, and it is a welcoming place to people who want to get away from the hustle and bustle of daily life and sit in some corner of the world where they can peep into their own soul, make plans, live quietly for a couple of hours or a couple of days, and see life differently. And if you love nature, oh, Sloth Island is the place to come. People come here to relax, and we use this place as a base. So people come here, like, let's say people come on Friday afternoon, and they overnight here, and Saturday they go into either deep into the Mazaruni, deep into the Cayuni. We go to all these little hot spots around Bartica. You could go from here, here you could catch a plane at the Bartica airport to Kaichor and back. You understand? And then we could do the Mazaruni and do all around here. So it is also used as a base, you know, so that people can just come relax here we have all the facilities here, you know, electricity, good running water, you know, and we have it all.